Hey Gemini, this is your general tarot reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Ascendant Rising sign for the month of October. Gemini, this may not be your birthday, but it is your fellow air sign's birthday, Libra. And your fellow air sign has decided to give you a gift this month, maybe even a couple of gifts. But the big gift it's bringing is allowing the Sun and Mars sit nicely and comfortably in your 5th house of pleasure, play, romance, sexuality, creativity, and just all around risky kind of fun, or just having fun in general. So the vibe here very, very strongly this month for you is having some real serious fun, Gemini, and to be really brave with that. If there's, say if you're single and you feel that you have to have a conversation with somebody that you're really interested in, this could be the month to do it, because you're feeling braver, more inspired to, I don't know, say how you feel about somebody maybe, and to bring that love and romance into a new relationship. If you're in a relationship, it's the same thing that applies. After maybe last month where everything might have felt a little bit heavier and uninspiring, this month could be where you reignite the romance in your relationship, where you bring a bit of the fun back, but serious fun. Why serious fun? Well, what do you mean serious fun? Well, you have a lot of energy this month in Scorpio, the one who takes things very seriously, the one who doesn't play around, the one who says, okay, we're going to have fun, but we're going to have serious fun. We're not going to do anything half-ass here. This is all in or nothing, because your ruler Mercury is in there, and Venus, the goddess of love, is in there with Scorpio. Also the new moon, all in your 6th house, of being a bit more practical about how you express your love, how you express your creativity too, how you express your risky side, your daring side, and to take maybe very, very, very big chances in love with your creativity, with maybe even something financial, and possibly even within your career. So there's this feeling of, you know what, I'm going to be brave, I'm going to be bold, I'm going to take a risk, and it's a calculated risk. And I mean business. I'm not playing around. I'm playing, but not playing around. So it's very, very good. As your first card helps out there, yeah. Now there's a lot of, a few other cards helping out there. Yes, strength coming your way, strength. But this card also came out, but we'll talk about it, Gemini. There's a lot going on for you this month. So when it comes to your work, what I see here for you is that there could be a kind of weird thing happening in your work life at the moment, where it's like you don't really know what's going on. Maybe there's some changes happening in the work that are yet to be announced. And you're kind of in that middle moment, that kind of uncertainty of what the hell is going on with my work? Is my boss moving? Is my manager changing? Is the workspace changing? If you work for yourself, it's a case of, what am I doing? What's the point of the work that I'm doing? Why do I not feel as inspired by the work that I've been doing as I had been before? What is different? I can't quite put my beautiful Gemini finger on what is different. So it's almost like your senses are picking up something about your work, that it's cloudy, it's nebulous, it's something that could be giving you a little bit of fear or a little bit of anxiety, because you're saying, I don't know what is what. I'm happy to continue maybe with my career, continue with my work, continue with what I'm doing. I have been feeling a little bit uninspired, but I also have this weird 6th sense, this weird feeling that I'm missing something, that something is at play and I don't know what is wrong, or I don't know what's going on. And I need to know what's going on, because with Saturn, Pluto and the South Node, they're sitting in your 8th house. The 8th house is a lot of control of, I need to know what's going on. I need to know if this job is still going ahead, or if my career is still on track here, because I need to start saving money. I've got rent to pay. I've got maybe a new home that I've bought to pay for. I've got shit to pay for. I need serious various moments here to know where the hell my career is going. And it has taken some of the fun out of my life a little bit, because there was a little bit of worry around that. But this month I'm doing something. So that's what I feel, Gemini. It's like this month I'm actually going to do something. I'm going to take the reins in hand here, and I'm going to change something. I'm going to be a bit daring, be a little bit cheeky, and maybe take a risk, and maybe confront my boss, or even if you're self-employed, the work that I do. Just sit with it, confront it, and say, what am I missing? With your boss or with your manager, it's like, what is going on? Can I plan for next year? Can I count on my contract? I'm taking this in hand, because Gemini, you don't work well under that type of uncertainty. Now, you don't mind things coming and going and changing and shifting. You're creative when it's like that, but when there's that level of, oh, I don't know what the hell is happening, then that tends to make you lose sleep a little bit. It makes you uncomfortable. And in some cases, it might even, constrict or restrict your creativity. And again, what I love here this month for you, Gemini, is you're saying, I'm taking this. I'm taking control of this. If I have to make big risks and maybe change something completely within my career, I'll do it. Mars in there saying, come on, let's do it. Let's take a risk. Let's dive in and be more creative with what we're doing. And even in some cases, Gemini, I feel this, for some of you, it's a thing of being completely disillusioned by the work that you're doing and saying, you know what, I am going to radically surprise everybody and change it up totally. Like you could have a fabulous job, meeting your targets, like getting all your sales, having great clients or whatever it is that you do, and being really, really good, no doubt, at what you do, Gemini. But then one moment you could say, you know what, this is not expressing who I am in any significant or meaningful way. I need to do something that matters to me, that means something to me, but also gives me a level of inner security and maybe also financial security. So there's a feeling that some of you might say, take a huge leap into something totally different, like leaving one job that looks secure, but there's something you're not feeling, and going into maybe a whole new avenue. I don't know why I have this image, Gemini. It can't be for all of you, but it just popped into my mind there. It's like wanting to do something that allows you to express not just your creativity, but your caring side, because you have a very, very deep well in there, Gemini, of caring for other people. And for some of you, why is this coming into my mind? It's like leaving a job and working with the caring professions, maybe working within a charity, becoming the head of a charity or the CEO or something of a big charity, or else actually doing the groundwork, going in and opening an animal shelter or working in that field, but bringing your creativity to it. You see, it's about, you have to bring your dynamism, you have to bring something fresh, that spark, that daring, that bold, those ideas, something a bit brighter to what you're doing in your life. That's what needs to happen. And I see with the full moon this month, Gemini, in the 11th house, that some of you are really so disillusioned with a team of people that you're working with, a group, a band, whatever it is, colleagues in general, that you might just say, I've gotten all I need to get from this. I'm going to kind of move and maybe find a new group of people to work with, a new society, a new team. I need a fresh group of people to re-inspire me, to reignite me and make me not feel so stale and stagnant, like I'm going nowhere. So the big push, Gemini, I feel this month is to take a risk, maybe to find a new team or a new group, or maybe even work on social media, and a new arena for you to be re-inspired by, for you to be energized by, to bring your talents out in this new, fresh arena, saying goodbye to the old, but also doing it with your mind very sharply on, this is something that I can give shape to, give form to, that will bring me money, that will bring me stability. It might be a risk, it might be unusual, but it will bring me something that A, I'm proud of, B, I can create within, and C, that it gives me some level of security and control in my life. So that's very, very, very strong, Gemini, and it seems to be where you're pushing, because there has been a real push on you over the last period to get more control over the direction of your life in general, get more control over your money, get more, now here's the big one, get more control of who you can trust, who you get into collaborations with, or who you get into contracts with, who you work with, who you get into relationships with, who you can tolerate and who you can no longer tolerate. That's really coming to a head now again this month. It's like, I'm very open to people. I'm very, what you see is what you get. But I have learned over the last period that not everybody values that, and I can't trust necessarily everybody to take what I have to offer and use it with respect. So again, this feeling of I am becoming more sharper, more discerning, more, in some cases, determined and even ruthless, Gemini, to say, this is what I want, this is what I expect, this is the group I expect to work with, this is the environment I expect to work in, and I don't want any more vampires, toxic people, drainers, people who just use me and use my money or use my talents, use my skills. I cannot and will not tolerate that anymore. I'm freaking tired of it. And I don't see why I have to keep giving to these bitches who don't deserve it. I don't see why I have to do it. In fact, if I keep doing it, then I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I don't want to do that anymore. So there's that real breakthrough here, Gemini, this month, of getting over this fear of asserting yourself in some way. The fear of saying goodbye to that group, or maybe even goodbye to a bunch of people, an environment, even a group of friends that have been somewhat holding you back, a circle of people who have been keeping things stale in your life. And this feeling of, why should I put up with it? Everything in my core being says I don't have to put up with this anymore. I am determined and more ruthless and more fierce than ever to be able to create, love, express myself, play, have good quality fun relationships that don't always have to end with this toxic nonsense that always drains me in one way or another. I want to be free of it. So that's very strong, Gemini. I felt that it's like, I just want to be free of those heavy bitches. So that's very, very strong, yeah. And there's some deep work going on here, the High Priestess. So that's that's very strong. And this is a very strong month, Gemini. A lot of psychological work going on for all the signs this month. And for you, it's like, change your environment, change the group. Don't feel one bit guilty if you have to say goodbye to a bunch of people. And don't be one bit guilty to take a big risk to move on with your career. If you feel, oh God, well, I don't want to leave these people behind. It's your life, Gemini. If something is really holding you back, you can't allow that to happen. You can sever, and cut yourself away from things that are holding you back and move on. You know, I do feel for many of you, there is an element of having a pinnacle moment, having a real moment of success, and letting that be the moment where you say, okay, I've gone as far as I can go. I've finished what I came to do. I've done all I needed to do here. Thank you. Now bye. So it's like a reward, a success, an achievement, maybe even a promotion, which is that real moment of stepping through and saying, well, that's the end of that. This is something new I'm starting now. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new. Very, very strong, very strong. And maybe some of you are saying hello to a new relationship. I feel for some of you that there could be somebody coming into your life this month, almost like they come out of nowhere. They just appear. And they seem to have a really strong effect on you, Gemini. It could be a new friend, a new somebody, even a new love that just out of the blue kind of steps in and reignites you, re-inspires you, gets you believing in yourself again, believing in your talents, believing that you can bring love and passion to your life again. It's somebody that has, it's like out of nowhere. They appear and they have a great value on who you are and what you do. And the value that they see in you, you're almost able to see the reflection. It's like what they see in you re-inspires you because it's like a mirror. You're saying, thank you for reflecting back to me those good qualities in me because I had forgotten I had those things. Yeah. Gemini, I also wouldn't be surprised if you have somebody who is a secret admirer. And this month it might come to your attention. Somebody who's either secretly cheering you on. It's like you never knew you had a fan or somebody who was a secret admirer or somebody who was silently cheering you on, pushing you on, somebody who was willing somewhat behind the scenes for you to be great. And it seems somehow this month they appear and they show themselves and they reignite so much in you. And even for some of you, there could be a love that blooms here. So this is such an unusual month energy-wise, Gemini, for everybody. And it's almost like there are so many surprises for you, so many things happening just, where did that come from? I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't even working towards that. It's an opportunity maybe for new work, an opportunity for a new creative thing, an opportunity for new love, an opportunity for your relationship to find new romance. But it comes from nowhere. It's like out of the ether, out of the universe, just something really positive and inspiring arrives. And you deserve that, Gemini. I really believe you deserve that, to be re-inspired, reignited. And what I feel here also here for you, to be reminded how loved you are. To be reminded of how great your talents are, of how valuable you are in many ways, in many, many, many ways. But it's almost like it takes a stranger to tell you or remind you. It takes a random chance meeting with somebody to start all of this good feeling and love in you again. I really like that. I really, really like that. Now, we're waiting on 4 more cards, Gemini. A lot of strong energy going on there. When it comes to your work and your health this month, there's a real focus on, if I get my health together, then my work will run smoother. If I detox, get exercise, kind of take care of my body, then I'll be able to relax my mind a little bit. And if my mind is relaxed, I'll be able to think clearer. Then I'll be able to make maybe some power moves within my career. So it's almost like I'm getting my health together in order to feel energized so I can get on with doing the work that I'm doing. Again, I'm getting some images here of a lot of you just needing lots and lots and lots of fresh air, going out for walks, going out in nature. It's like, I need this freshness, I need this brightness, I need to get out of the house, I need to get out of the office, I need to clear my head, I need to be able to sleep better again. I need to burn some of that unwanted energy and purge some unwanted toxicity maybe that other people brought to you. And I need to just clear everything, clear the air, clear my energy. And then I'm going to get stuck in to making some big moves in my life. So that's very, very strong, very strong. Something coming out of nowhere that changes everything. And the moon showing up there, something coming out of nowhere that changes everything, that brings more light, that brings more passion, and that allows you to get back in and compete again, which is interesting that this card came out with Mars and the Sun in the 5th house of getting back into the game, getting back into the competition, getting back into the arena, but with more power this time, re-inspired this time. Gemini, your energy is really, I have to say, it's intriguing me, it's fascinating me, because this is slightly different to the energy I normally get when I sit with you. This is the real month where I feel you mean business and you are off running, and the clarity that's coming and the supporters that are coming your way. That's what I feel. People cheering you on, applauding you, supporting you out of nowhere. And you're just, this is it. I'm not going to waste this. I'm not going to let this just pass me by. I'm going to take this and I'm going to run with this. I'm going to be bold and brave and daring. So, Gemini, wow, we've been talking for over 20 minutes. Sorry about that. Let's get to the cards finally, to the big grand, ta-da, overview. So, my love, we open up with this card saying that there has been a lot of pressure over money. And I feel it's some weirdness over that whole work situation we spoke about. Like, can I count on this work? I sense in my gut, you're saying, that something is off. Something is gone. It's gone out of control. It's something I can't quite put my finger on, but it has gone askew. It has gone off in some direction. And it makes me worried now for my money. It makes me worried about my finances. And it makes me also feel like I'm off I'm off track in some way. There's a feeling here with Jupiter, say, in the 7th house of everybody else expanding, everybody else doing well, everybody else having a lot of luck, everybody else doing their thing and getting on with it, and it's frustrating you because you're saying, look, I'm happy, I'm genuinely happy that other people are having maybe success or moving forward, but I'm working so hard and yet I feel I'm not getting the kind of luck that I should be getting. I'm working harder than everybody else to get my money together, to get something really organized in my life, but it's not coming as easy for me as it has done before. And this has been giving me some anxiety. But you know, Gemini, this is the month where a risk needs to be taken. This is a Leo card, but very 5th house energy, where the Sun is in the 5th house, the ruler of Leo, in the 5th house with Mars, saying, in order to get past this, Gemini, there's an element of risk, a chance. Play again, create again, do something that you love again, do something meaningful again that separates you from everybody else, if that's to do with your work. A risk that pulls away from the crowd, takes you away from the group, takes you away from what's on trend, maybe for some of you, and start doing something unique, individual, that is absolutely true to your talents. Even if it's totally different to what you're doing now, take a risk and don't worry about what the crowd thinks. Don't worry about what your clients think. Don't worry about how other people will perceive it. It's like, take that big, bold move. Take that big, bold risk. Why? Because it seems to kill this fear demon that's been sitting inside there, the fear of taking a risk. And not just with work, with love, with relationships, with family, with whatever it is, your home, whatever it is that the big focus is on here. Some of you worrying about friends too, or the environment that you're in. It's like, do it. Be brave and take the risk and use your wonderful Gemini imagination in a new, fresh way to make it work right for you. And whatever this risk, this big leap of faith that you do, that your heart is in your mouth because you're saying, oh my God, this means that I have to stand out, be different. I could be leaving myself out, hung out to dry here, but it's something I feel I need to do. It's a short-term risk that will pay off in the long run. Maybe having a side business, whatever it is, taking a risk with your creativity, taking a risk with love. Yeah, it's a risk, but it seems to be worth it. It seems to be what your deep, deep inner wisdom, the deep inner knowing, primal part of you, instinctual part of you, is wanting. It is the thing that's saying this is how it should be played, because it gets you out of this mental stuck feeling, stuck, no new ideas coming, nothing new happening. And also that feeling of, it's not fair that I've been this stuck in my life for so long, with the things in my life, with my luck, with my relationships, with finding a new love, with my creativity, with my work. It just doesn't seem fair that I'm stuck kind of on this mill, and a mill that's like the hamster wheel that's going round and round but going nowhere. But your intuition is absolutely screaming at you this month, screaming, Gemini, because I can feel such strong energy. It's really coming up and it's saying, take the chance, take the risk, but do it in a way that it's all about what you want, that it's very personal to you, that it's from the heart and from the soul and from your uniqueness, your authentic place. And don't care what everybody else is doing or what they think. It doesn't matter. I see for some of you here, there's strong Leo energy and maybe even Pisces energy, maybe acting as a catalyst for change, either positively or negatively. Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant could be the ones that put the fire under your feet to finally make that change. But this is also kind of a Pisces card. It's also kind of, say, Pisces to do with your work, Neptune retrograding in Pisces. Something in your gut is telling you that you need to make a big, brave change within your work. And I know it feels like a risk. Wow, such strong energy, Gemini, I'm feeling. To trust your instinct, to trust whatever this thing is that you keep suppressing. You keep saying, no, 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 I'm not going to listen. That's too risky. No, no, no. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. This is a good relationship. It's not perfect. I do want to leave it, but I'm not going to listen. I'm going to shove that down. Same with your work or your friendships or things like that. These friends, they're not the best. Maybe a little bit toxic, maybe holding me back a little bit in some way, but you know, I'm going to ignore it. Same at work. You can't shove that down because this is the power in you. This is your force, the force in your soul, really pleading with you to do that one thing that is risky, but that gets you out of that staleness in your life. And it'll bring you on this fabulous new direction. But Gemini, mid-month, I feel there is news coming your way. And I think the news could be to do with love and passion and doing something that you love and that you're passionate about. So there could be an opportunity coming in mid-month around the time of the full moon to maybe enter in with a new group, do something maybe on social media, do something with a new team, get re-inspired by the energy of a new crowd of people. You know, some of you could be getting that good news that you get that prize, you get the promotion, you get what the thing that you've been working for, you get it. And you hear news about that. But then you take it, you take the chalice and say, thank you for my award, my trophy, my medal, whatever. Thank you. Now I'm moving on to do something that I'm more passionate about, that I care more about, that is more me. But like I said before, some of you could be getting news that I feel it's like a hidden supporter or a hidden fan or a hidden admirer or a hidden secret love revealing themselves. Because again, we have the energy. This is, say, a Virgo style card, but it's also very 6th house, and Venus and Mercury, your ruler, are in the 6th house, revealing something, holding up the lantern in a dark space. You see, High Priestess, everything coming from the hidden space and being revealed to you, being shown to you. And it requires a check, or for me, it feels like a big catalyst of change. Now, I will say this for some of you, with the full moon this month in the 11th house, some of you could see something, maybe on social media this month, that is revealed to you, that you can't support anymore, you can't defend anymore, you don't like it. And there could be a bit of a call when it comes to some friends, because you say, I can't watch their feed anymore because they're just toxic bitches. I can't be friends maybe even with a group of people anymore because now that I've seen what I've seen, I can't be around them anymore. Or there's something that you learn about a group of people, maybe even a team in work or a society, a sports team, anything like that, that once you see it, it can't be unseen. And it's like, I can't support this anymore. There's a feeling of you having to defend yourself also, saying, I can't support this. And your fear that you had might play out a little bit. Your fear that if you do something different, take a risk, be bold, be brave, and step away a little bit from certain things to do your own thing, then the fear is, but they'll hate me, or they'll judge me, or they'll come at me, or they'll do something. There'll be a backlash for this. And yeah, there might be. But you know what? This is the energy of you taking the higher moral stance. See, he's on higher ground and he's defending himself and he's saying, you know what, back off bitches, because I've every right to make this decision. I've every right to leave this workspace and start something new. I've every right to kind of not be happy with that group of friends and to kind of steer away from them or cut them off a little bit. I've every right to just switch my life in one direction, just like that. I've every right to do it. And you know, your response is very showing, it's very telling, because as soon as I change, and if you come at me once I respond or do something differently, then it kind of proves that I was right to step away from you. Because look at you all coming at me with your sticks, proving to me that my fears were right, that there was something weird or toxic. My hunch about something was right. So I was right to pull away. And I'm not going backwards. I'm not going back. What I've learned or what I've seen or what I've experienced, that was the thing that ended a friendship or a contract or something with somebody. That was it. That was the sign I needed. And the fears, yeah, you know what? I'm bigger than my fears. So what? The fears played out in the way I thought they would. You know what? Instead of losing sleep about that, I'm actually fine with that. In fact, I was losing sleep because I was worried about it. But now that it's happened, I honestly don't care. I don't care. I'm moving on with my life. I have places to go, things to do that I'm passionate about. And love to experience in a way that I'm passionate about. So that's it. But the moon, again, it's something being revealed to you. It's so strong, so strong. With the energy in Scorpio in the 6th house, there's almost like proof. 6th house is about having the documentation, the proof, the things. It's not a hunch anymore. I've seen it. It is provable. It is something that I can back up. And I feel for some of you, it is something that you see about a person in particular, one person, maybe somebody with a sun, moon, or ascendant in a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. There's something in there that you say, you know what? You are working against me. Gemini, I feel that thing. Did we talk about this last month? Like somebody sabotaging the work that you're doing, or deliberately keeping you in the dark, or deliberately kind of asking for your advice all the time, and then you being really generous, but they're using what you're giving them to make their progress. Gemini, I know you like movies and you're very good to watch movies. Many of you might have seen this very, very, very old movie. If you haven't, can I suggest you go into Netflix and watch it? It's this movie called All About Eve. I'm sure many of you have seen it, Bette Davis. And it is about somebody who starts off almost like as a fan of Bette Davis's character, but she kind of lets them into her world, gives them lots of advice, and they then go on to kind of push her out of her spotlight a little bit. It's like she created a monster. And it's worth watching, All About Eve. And I'm telling you to watch it because I have this thing, and I felt it last month too, of somebody wanting to keep you small, Gemini. Wanting to keep you, that you don't see your value, but wanting to veil something about themselves, hide something about themselves, that it's like, I'm going to get the most out of Gemini, but then I'm going to use it for me to get on ahead. And what if I step on Gemini's toes while I'm doing it? So I feel that, but I think this person is going to be ousted. They're going to be seen, and they're definitely Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You're going to spot them. It's going to be revealed. But you know what? It's a good thing. It's a good thing, Gemini. I don't want that to weird you out, because this could be the catalyst that is absolutely needed for you to know again who to trust, who not to trust. You're so giving, you're so generous. And you remember I said earlier that it's almost like you need an outlet for that expression of being kind, being generous, being loving, being healing. But the difference here this month is I think you're learning that you don't just put that in any old place. Work is work. Friends are friends, family is family, business is business. But to really open up in that really generous way, then I think you need a second outlet, a side outlet. Healing with people, healing through charity work, I keep hearing animal rescue. It just keeps popping into my mind. I know that might be not for all of you, but if you've a talent, maybe you can mentor somebody who could, use your skills, but in a very healthy way, not in a All About Eve way, if you do get to watch that movie. So it's like, this could be a real moment of like where there's a fork in the road. Finding that way to be charitable, giving, kind, but in the right place, and then treating everything else with a sense of, I mean business, bitches. And you're not going to get that charitable, overly generous side of me here, because you will just take advantage of me. But that stops now. That stops. But the thing that you do get to see, Gemini, for me, it does mark a moment where you have to sit down for a moment and gather your thoughts and say, what the hell was that all about? I'm so hurt. I'm so hurt by that person who turned out to be somebody who was working against me. Somebody who pitted themselves against me, maybe even somebody who I helped them, but they turned around and bit the hand that fed them. So there's that feeling of being hurt by that, Gemini. But you know what I feel? This is not a moment of loss. This is a moment of, that is what I needed. That is the match against the matchbox that sets me alight again. That was the last thing I needed to see in order for me to finally come out and say, bye bitches, I mean business now. I am not playing around. I mean to do something big and significant in my life without those takers, draggers. Sorry, Gemini, my camera cut off there. Sometimes that happens when the energy gets very, very high and heated, and it's getting high and heated and intense. But you know what? when you go through this month, I feel all the catalysts, all the changes, all the things that you're going to see are ultimately designed to inspire you again, to give you more strength, to break apart and break free from the things and the people and the situations that have been holding you back, but you are too afraid to really ultimately let go of in some way. So even though this month does seem to be quite intense, Gemini, and the energy does seem to be quite strong, and there are a few things that seem to get revealed to you that almost somewhat like confirm some inner suspicion that you had about something. Once it's seen, perfect, you can move on. Once it's done, perfect, you can move on. Once you take maybe a really positive risk with something or somebody in your life, then great. The fear has been challenged, it's been conquered, and then what? Then you can move on. So it's a very powerful month for you, my love. And I'm really happy about that, because it's once we get over those hurdles, once we get over that fear, then the success is on the other side of that, you know, and that's what's being gifted to you through Libra season, your fellow air sign season this month. The gift of getting over that fear of snip, 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 cutting them all out and going off and just doing your own happy thing that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel like you're doing something that you love with somebody maybe that you love. So in the end, it's all really, really positive and all really good. So I'm going to leave it at that, my love. Now, you know, these are just the general energies, the general vibes. To get into the real details, to know exactly what's going on within your relationship, if you're single, to know what's the real kind of detailed energy of love for the singles this month, money, career, family, friends, anything that we didn't touch upon here in the general reading, you know we go through all of that in the deep read, the Vimeo readings. Down in the description box down there below, you'll see a link, click on it, it will bring you to the deep read, and we will go right in to the very specific themes and topics and find out what the heck is going on. So come along, Gemini, and we'll figure it out together. So I'm going to leave it at that, my beautiful, with full confidence, absolute full confidence that whatever it is that you're pushing through this month, you're going to come out shining on the other side. So, my beauty, I'm going to leave you, as always, with all my love and a great, great big kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my gorgeous. Bye.